Well, the Democrat Party is desperate to win back voters. Democrat strategist James Carville has one idea. Stop using words and phrases like these. Watch.
Don't use generational change, because there's a lot of people that are older than me. Why do you want to limit the appeal of your message to younger people? Don't use words like structural, okay? Because we're not going to attack the structural issues in the world right now. We're trying to stay alive to the next day. Don't use the word equity, use equality to your little heart's desire. This is another really stupid word, oligarch. Who the knows what an oligarch is?
He's not wrong. President Trump told Sean Hannity why he thinks the party is struggling so much.
You know, it would be harder to beat them if they were normal on things. It shows that they're almost insane. And they do suffer from Trump derangement syndrome at a high level. And I guess I'm honored by that.
I always love his perspective, Charles. Look, let's talk about James Carville's advice for a second, because frankly, he's not wrong.
Right.
But many in his party think differently, including two that are on an fight the oligarchy tour, right? So at the end of the day, is his strategy going to have an influence on this party, or are they just going to reject him like they reject anyone that thinks for themselves?
They're definitely going to reject him. There's no doubt about it. But at the same token, the people who reject him are being rejected by the younger folks that they think they're aiming at, because people, to Trump's point, and it's the Ben Rhodes comment, it all comes under the umbrella of common sense. Really, if you're trying to get a message to someone, make sure they understand what the hell the message is. So they speak down at people or over your head or whatever it is. I don't know if it's to feel better about themselves, to justify their education, whatever the heck it is, but it's falling on deaf ears. First of all, it's the wrong message almost always. Secondly, it's delivered so in such an unpractical way that no one gets it. You don't fire anyone up. You don't get anyone charged up. You don't get anyone to think for themselves. And so he's got some great points, but I doubt they'll listen to him.
You're right, because they're digging in, Martha. I mean, look, they're removing the vice chair of the DNC party for sort of challenging those incumbents and saying, look, maybe we should get some fresh blood in here. They're not meeting the moment. Well, he's out. So it sounds like maybe some common sense infusion or just new ideas is soundly rejected by the Dems.
Yeah, I find one of the phrases really interesting that he touched on, and it's equity and equality, because there was a moment where everyone was told that the word equality, which is, obviously part of our foundational documents, that all men are created equal, became a word you're not supposed to use. And equity, where you're able to elevate everyone to the same starting point and then take off from there in terms of outcomes, became the word that was more in vogue. And now he's saying, no, let's talk about equality. And let's talk about people all coming from the same place with the same opportunities, because we see a tremendous amount of opportunity in the country. And we see people of all backgrounds succeeding in ways that we have never seen before in many ways. So the opportunity is there. I think it's really smart of him to sort of squelch that idea of equity versus equality. And, with regard to the oligarchy, he's completely right. And I think oligarchy really became the word because people were, they were all fired up about Elon Musk and other members of the corporate culture who were sort of making their voices really heard. And they're going, wait, isn't he the guy who came up with, this incredible space program and all these other things? We're supposed to hate him while Bernie Sanders is flying around on his multi-million-dollar private jet. So it's not adding up for any regular folks, no matter where you come from.
And Kayleigh, before I give Carville too much credit, he called us all Nazis, but at the end of the day, he's a talking head on TV now. He frankly hasn't worked for a campaign in quite a long time. So how do you think this dovetails in with those who are creating the playbook for the Democrat Party and what they will see moving forward with the decisions they'll make?
You're right that Carville's been wrong about a lot. In fact, February 23rd, he said that Trump was in the midst of a collapse. Okay, that was nearly 3 months ago. Does it look like Trump's collapsing today? No, it looks like he's winning on the world stage. He also now calls Kamala a seventh-string quarterback, but I'd just like to remind him of his October New York Times op-ed where he said, 3 reasons I'm certain Kamala will win. So he's been wrong about a lot, but he's right about this. I did a focus group in Florida with the Trump campaign back in 2020, and I'll never forget it. I remember you're sitting behind the glass and you're looking at these people and they're being asked all sorts of questions, and you realize real quick how out of touch you are, how you think everyone knows every political figure and they don't, how you think people think about issues and they don't. It is humbling. A lot of the Democratic Party is spending time in front of the cameras, just as Republicans do. but spend less time in front of the cameras and more time behind the glass. That's where you learn. And it seems to me, based on these comments, James Carville spent a little time behind the glass. He's learned a lot, and I hope Democrats don't listen to him.
Interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Well, when you were leading up to the story with the introduction, Emily, I thought you were going to say words like intersectionality, which is another one, if you watch that whole video with him, he mentions. But what about the cussing? And then he dropped an F-bomb. I mean, apparently on the left, just use every word that's as offensive as possible also in your messaging. And no one is really going for that part of the audience that wants you to draw them in. They want to be heard and seen. You're cussing at them constantly, even he does. And I understand what he's saying when he's saying, well, you know, equity, you can't promise people outcomes. So he's been watching Fox News, obviously, because we've been saying that for years. Yeah, with the E and the DEI, the problems with it, and so on and so forth. But what they aren't watching are the voters. And that's the most important thing. I don't know if they can get it this round. I don't. I mean, it's, and as President Trump said, that's okay with him. And I would imagine every Republican, too, because they'll be easy
Well, the
to
three
beat.
Republicans can learn that lesson, too, I think. But
Yeah.
anyway, they just talk down to people, like professors talking down to their students.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Compagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.